welcome everybody to another wonderful Monday night on Tuesday of Chewin the BBQ Fat. It has been a long time since we've had a barbecue show. I've missed it. I've missed every one of y'all. I got to cook in the meantime. We've been doing a lot of barbecue, a lot of baseball. But guys, guess what? Barbecue's back. I tell you what, we were in Greenwood, South Carolina this weekend. Tons of barbecue teams, tons of people out there. What an incredible festival. Man, it was just awesome. But thank y'all so much for coming joining us on a Tuesday night here for Chewin the BBQ Fat. I know a little off. What's up, Chuck? Good seeing you last weekend. But go ahead, share the page, like the page. I've got two of my best friends coming on tonight in barbecue, and we get to talk a lot about what's going on. They said they would give out all the information they want to give out tonight. If you just ask. So if you ask, they probably won't tell you, but hey, can't hurt to ask anyway, right? But we had a good cook. Yeah, screw it. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about barbecue. Let me go ahead and bring on Bill and Paul. What's up, guys?
How we doing, Brian?
And Brian,
what's up?
Knocked off rust this past weekend.
I did.
I had the cleanest pits out there, man.
I had the cleanest pits out there. There were 4 brand new drums. They once again cooked phenomenal. And I didn't even really try to push selling them. So for the first time, and I don't know how long, I brought home 4 drums. So
well, you just now put some flavor in them now. You just got to keep using them.
Now I keep using them?
Okay.
Yeah. We had a good weekend. Y'all both had good weekends. For me, I had a good weekend. I know y'all both be highly disappointed with my weekend, but I got 11th place overall. I got a 5th place in brisket and a 6th place ribs. I can finish second on my table in pork, and y'all know pork has been my strong point. And I've always told Ellen, I was like, I just hope we don't ever have to land on Rooters and Tooters pork table. If we do, we're in trouble. Well, it happened this week. We landed on Paul's table. He got first place. I got second place on the table. So the Pork King just just sent me back to reality. But it was awesome. It was great to see. It was a lot of fun. And I called Paul. I was like, Mel, he goes, this is the first time I beat you. I was like, well, it's the first time we've been on the same table together. So, but anyway, what Bill, with a big weekend this weekend, why don't y'all tell us a little bit what y'all have been doing? And Bill, I'll let you start. What y'all been doing in barbecue the past couple months, and what the rest of the season looks like for you?
We've been cooking pretty much every weekend except 4th of July. We took that weekend off, did some family stuff. But every other weekend we've been out. We did 2 doubles there in June. And so I think we had 6 total cooks in June. And so we've been having on a pretty good run. So I think we've got 3 grands in a reserve in the past, 4 or 5 weeks.
It's not bad numbers right there.
So
not bad at all. And where are you headed?
This weekend we're heading up to Eureka, Illinois, to a conference. They're looking for teams. So anybody that's looking for something in the Central Illinois area, that one of the best organizers out there, and good location and really cool trophies. Sign up. It's not too late.
Hey, that's where is that where they have the Ronald? Was it Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, it's at at the college where the Ronald Reagan Museum is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I remember that. We did that one year.
Yep. So it used to be the Peoria contest that was on the riverfront. And,
George says he's going to miss you this weekend. So,
yeah, he's my good luck. He's my good luck charm. As long as he's set up right next to me, we do really well. So of course, so does he. But
that's funny. Need more field fillers for Triple H. So Brian Payne, where are you cooking? Are you going to be there in Central Illinois, or are you going somewhere different? Paul, you do what?
I believe Brian's coming up there. So.
That's awesome. Paul, you've had quite the run yourself. We're going to Las Vegas this weekend.
Are you cooking a contest in Las Vegas?
No. Nope. Yeah, we're going to do What are we going to, well, no. Paul, tell us a little bit about what you've been going on. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been at it pretty hard ourselves. I think we've been going since March, probably pretty much every single weekend. And you start to feel it about this time of the year. There's a good bit of season still left, but this is where you start to have to push yourself a little bit and force yourself sometimes to go in there and trim meat. We were talking about that before the show. I think me and Bill both were trying to knock out a little bit today. So you got to get done everything you can as fast as you can because you'll be on the road before you know it. But yeah, we've been pretty fortunate. We can't finish the deal like Bill. Bill's the closer. He knocks it out when he gets up there. So we've got a whole lot of number twos. But we've been real fortunate to get that and happy with it. And we had a great time in South Carolina with you this past weekend. I love that contest. That's probably one of my top 5 contests for sure. Just a great town, shows up. I mean, the line for the vendors just never seems to end. I don't know if for a small town, I don't know where all these people were coming from. But they always show out like that, and we were pretty fortunate. You failed to mention there was like 96 teams there, so you finished 11th, but it was 96 teams. So I would say there's a few teams that wouldn't mind finishing 11th. So congratulations to Meg and Trey. They hit a really big run there. So they were our neighbors too for that weekend, so that made it really fun. But yeah, we're going to keep hitting it, and Lynn will keep pushing me as hard as she can push me, I'm sure. So we've got a couple stints in the Virginia area, and over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be debating on August dries up in the South. So for us in August, there is absolutely nothing that is anywhere remotely close to us. So we'll have to do some really long hauls for the whole month of August and set up in the Missouri area, set camp up in Missouri area there for a while, because it seems like almost every contest in August is a double, and it's always in Missouri or Kansas. So we'll be up there for a little bit and see how we do up there. That's part of the fun is for us, we don't have a lot of contests in Tennessee, so we travel a lot, and I know Bill does too. He comes way down here too, quite a bit. So that's part of the fun, just going all these different areas and regions and seeing how it plays out.
Well, and I think having friends in all the different areas is a great thing, and all the people you meet, and going across the country. We're not, like Paul said, we both travel a lot, so we see teams on the East Coast, and we get out west a little bit and down south and up north, and know people from all over, and that's really fun. Just having friends like that.
Yeah, well, that's just like for the Missouri in August. I mean, Lynn's already hit up Schaefer and hit up Pop there, Ed, to see if he's got room for us to leave our trailer up there, so we don't have to haul it back and forth so much. And so, I mean, he's pretty gracious, at least for right now. He said if I get ahead of him, he won't let me do that anymore. But I don't think there's a lot of chance of that. It'll be in his backyard.
It'll happen for you.
Yeah, it'll be his backyard for a month, so I'm sure he'll feast for a few contests there for sure.
I think you're probably right. he always gets hot. He always gets hot in the fall anyway. So
yeah, it is funny.
Like what you were about to say, it's funny how some teams do better certain times of year, and Chris always gets hot at the end of the year, and really comes on strong. So.
Well, I think you talked a bit earlier today, and we both are in the same boat. For me personally, for the last 2 years at least, the summertime has not been very kind to us. But then it come about September, October, we kind of catch back up, and I don't know what happens. It's not that I'm changing a lot of things. If I am, it's very, very subtle type of things, but. This year, it seems like things are still clicking in the summertime, so I'm kind of anxious to see what happens in the fall.
Yeah, I'm same boat. Normally we kind of get a lull in the summer, and not this year. We've been hitting pretty hard in the summer. So
I stay in a lull. It's cool. Every once in a while you get hot.
But you have to cook at least 10 contests to be able to get an average, Brian. So
Is that
right
how
now
it
you're at 3, so you've got enough time to go ahead and cook to make 10, but you might want to get a move on.
You might want to start planning. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you mentioned in August there's not much. I was going through our schedule trying to find when in the world I can cook again, and I don't know. I told Bill, I was like, maybe we'll just fly up wherever y'all are and come hang out with y'all. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to be able to do because August there's hardly. I don't know if there's anything near us. Savannah, I can't do Savannah's first weekend of school, and then Pigs and Peaches in Kennesaw, Georgia. It sold out quickly. So there's really nothing else anywhere close because I was trying to figure out where we can go, but I don't know where to go. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right. Speaking of friends, I think Bill, you mentioned friends, seeing friends all across the country. I'm sure y'all watched. I think we both talked about it. We watched the Barbecue USA on Food Network or USA Barbecue, whatever it was called, whatever the show is called. Great show. It's really cool seeing the people that we know, friends out there talking about this competition barbecue that we all do. Did either one of y'all watch that? I know I thought one of y'all did, maybe not.
I caught a little bit of it this afternoon, actually, while I was eating supper, and we had it recorded. We didn't watch it last night, and but we did catch about 3/4 of it, and it was good. It was good. It was kind of basic level, you know. And I think if you look back at KCBS, you know, when you see the spike in membership, I think it really hit about the time that Barbecue Pitmasters and Barbecue Wars, things like that, were going on. And I hope this program. I mean, Chef Michael Simon is. I mean, I would love to meet Michael Simon. We've been watching him for a long time, even going back to his Iron Chef days, and always one of our favorite chefs. So the people that got to meet him during the show, I'm a little jealous of that. And but hopefully that this show will give a little bit of a boost in membership for KCBS moving forward, and see some new blood kind of come in, or some renewed interest in what we're doing here.
I thought it was funny. To me, one of the best lines was he was using the tea shaker thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm taking this, Bobby Flay. I'm coming after you. I'm going to beat you. You know, I was like, you know, it's just really cool how he's bringing in that whole Iron Chef and the whole thing together. And, you know, I thought that was like, man, that's really cool. It's just bringing what we do. What we do can teach Iron Chef something. You know, it's really cool to see. And
yeah, well, I thought it was interesting because for us, that's just like, okay, almost everybody knows about that. But if you're not in our circles or in our environment that we're in every weekend, there's so many things that we do we take for granted that most people have no clue of, little tips and tricks of how to make things a little bit better and easier.
Right.
Well, I don't know about you, but I still every once in a while will see somebody do something that you go and hang out in the trailer and you're like, where did you get that? That's a great idea. You know, just something to make things simpler. You know,
hey, there's no doubt you put a bunch of rednecks in some kind of barbecue cooking contest, and you're going to see some of the most innovative stuff you've ever seen. And I'm still floored. I mean, Kerry with Hold Your Horses, almost every time I'm around him, I go, huh, never thought of that. I'm gonna have to use that one.
Exactly. You know, that's what and you know what's so cool is people are willing to help each other. They're willing to, you know, there's tons of secrets, right? There's tons of secrets, and there's a lot of stuff that, you know, you're going to keep it as your own competitive advantages. But for most part, I mean, people are they want you to learn. They want you to cook good food. So, but what do you see? What do you think? Let me rephrase that. Do you think this show, and what you were mentioning earlier, Paul, is kind of where I want to go. Do you think this show, or what do you think we can do to get this show out there to make another boom in competition barbecue? Do you think there's anything else that can happen?
As far as with the show that they're airing now?
Yeah. Yeah, Chuck East just said, because I think they're pushing all of them. I know Chuck East and them are featured in the GBA contest when they do the loin. And I do know they did an MBN contest also. There's a Texas also. So, yeah. But what can we, because I'm also putting on a contest in November. It's like, what can we do to get new people involved, and what's a good way to draw in people? So what do you think? I mean, is there anything that going on with this show that could help us?
Well, I think just
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think just the exposure alone is really what it's about. And, there's I'd be the first to admit, we've kind of gone to the line. We've all talked about this before, but there's just so much it's comfort. I mean, there's so much of us doing things that are kind of hidden a little bit. It's different than it was 20 years ago. When you look back at some of the pictures and see how people used to do competitions versus what it is now. Most people just walking around, they really don't understand exactly what's going on. And I think the more exposure you can get to what's actually going on behind the scenes, because we all are very, I think, very gracious. And, you've got that time where you're right in that critical part. You're getting ready to start chicken turn in. So you've got a whole bunch of things kind of going, and a whole lot of things you're trying to monitor. And it never fails. Somebody's going to walk up and start asking you questions and kind of, hey, what's going on? Or ask you, when are you selling meat? But they don't really understand. You're trying to be nice, and you're just, but you're kind of like, okay, leave me alone. I'm getting ready to, get serious here. But you don't want to miss the opportunity to let them know, kind of what you're doing and share what you're doing. And I think the show will help with that. What I saw tonight, they really kind of went into detail on some of the behind the scenes, and I think that's important. The more they see it, the more interest you'll get. I'm a product of it. I had a friend that got me into it, but actually he got into it through the show, and he was telling me, "Hey, look, you need to do this. You would love this." And so he told me about the show, so I watched the show, and after a few episodes, I had looked at like Lynn, my wife, and I was like, "Hey, I think I can make one of them drum things, and I think we could try this." And we went to Gaston, Alabama for our first contest on the backyard side. We got 2 calls, and we were hooked, and that was 10 plus years ago, and we've been at it ever since.
It's crazy. What were you gonna say, Bill?
I didn't get the opportunity to see the show. I don't get Food Network. I don't watch TV. But anyway, I think anytime you can get barbecue out to the masses, it doesn't matter whether they're watching MBN or KCBS or GBA or whatever, it's going to get people interested in it and get them into their local stuff or backyard stuff. And that's where people start most of the time. I know that's how I started, was just some local backyard rib cooks. And, you get hooked in it. And the next thing you know, you're wanting to go bigger and whatever, and do more and move up. So
next thing you know, you're sitting in the Upper Peninsula cooking barbecue.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're signing up for the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic in November 18th and 19th, and you're like, man, this is gonna be the best contest ever. Why did it take them so long to get going? But
I heard that was a good contest. What was those dates again?
November 18th and 19th in Cumming, Georgia. It'll be after the KCBS Invitational. They're in Gadsden, Alabama. Beautiful area over there in Gadsden. Janet's already told everybody that she's gonna let them keep their rigs there for a little bit longer, and then just come on over. I'm just kidding. She didn't say that, Janet. I'm kidding. She's on here live watching. Hopefully she'll get a kick out of that. But hopefully you can go cook that contest and come on over to Cumming, Georgia, a couple hours across just across state line, and come cook it. It's going to be a great time. We had a meeting tonight going over everything. It's setting up to be a really good contest. So I can't wait. I can't wait to have a contest, put on a contest ourselves. After watching teams have so much fun at contests, and it's kind of what I want to get into next, but I'm hoping we'll be able to have something that everybody can come in, have a good time, enjoy themselves, and continue doing this thing that we love. But Bill, what is something at a contest that you really enjoy that could be that maybe is unique, or something that makes a contest special to you?
Oh man. Anytime the organizers do things that are more focused on the teams, I've been to contests where it felt like we were just a sideshow, and I'm sure Paul's been to some that maybe were like that you just need a bag of ice and nobody can tell you where to get that, but some of the contests that are really good have people constantly, there if you need something and things like that. I think that helps a lot and makes for a better contest. At least for us, I don't know. Cool trophies always help.
Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the cool trophies is what will keep quite a few teams coming back. And Galax Virginia is a prime example. It's kind of out there for us, but I have no clue what it pays, but I want one of those violins. So that's why we're really going that way. But I think for me in a contest, I think anytime we can have opportunity to gather, and a lot of times that's just sit around a fireplace, or just some common area with a potluck dinner or something like that. I have met more people doing that and had great conversations and laughs, just relaxed on Friday, and everybody contributing, and it's just that's just part of it. You'll meet so many different people doing that, and I think everybody's relaxed, and it's just fun. You don't see that a lot. There's not a lot of opportunities, at least for me, that haven't been for the last year or two. You don't see a bunch of it, and normally when it is, it's been a team organized type of thing, and I know I enjoy that. That's an extra bonus for me. Having an organizer that understands what the needs the teams will have is makes it more relaxing as well, not as stressful for you. But yeah, just having those opportunities, I think, for people to get together, and some having sites that are set up for us, and I don't mean necessarily water and power. I mean, I've been to contests where you're so scattered out, it's like you have to holler or walk a quarter mile to get to the person next to you. That just kind of takes the feel out of it to me. I don't mind being tied in with other teams. I can yell across to Billy, or I can get in his head some when his meat's done or not, when he's checking it. I mean, because you see everything. So I just think that's just more fun when we're all grouped up together pretty tight. But yeah, you put all those things together and it's pretty fun.
What were you saying, Bill?
I was just gonna say I agree with that. I like being close and being able to holler across from one trail to the other, and the banter that goes on back and forth is usually pretty entertaining. So
talking trash. Yeah, I'm not very good at it. Lynn's pretty good at it, so be careful if you want to start something with her. I think Schaefer found that out the hard way, but. But just be careful, I'm warning you.
That's awesome. So in the barbecue world, and I don't know what else happened. Let's talk KCBS. Bantering and barbecue. No, Hank Faden. Hank, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Can't wait to see you again. I haven't been able to be out in your area a while, but love to come hang out again. What is Emily has stepped down at KCBS to do other things. What do y'all see happening with KCBS with that leadership change? You think it's going to be? I believe she did a really good job in KCBS overall. What do y'all see that as being affecting barbecue in any way?
I'll start.
I'm starting with
comments, and I didn't catch everything. So,
well, I think far as Emily's job there, I think she did a really great job. She really tried her best to represent KCBS in a really good light, and really tried her best also to get around and talk to all kind of different people. It wasn't just top focused. She really took a lot of time and talked with shade tree backyard type teams as well, and as teams that may not cook that much. So she was always looking for opportunities to kind of spread the image of KCBS in a positive light. And I hate to see her go. I mean, I'm not for sure where she's going. I don't know much details about anything. I haven't heard much, but I wish her the best, and I wish she wouldn't go. Honestly, I think she was just now starting to get us back headed the right direction, and trying a lot of different things to promote memberships. And but I do wish her the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked Emily. I mean, I think she did a great job. And I guess I'm fairly new to KCBS, as far as haven't been deep involved for more than a couple of years here. But, everything I've seen, I thought she did a great job. And I wish her best in her next adventure.
Yeah.
So
I think everybody seems to feel the same way, and hopefully she'll do good. And I always appreciate her, because if I ever asked her to come on the show and talk about it, she would come on the show, and she was very transparent what was going on with KCBS. And I'm hoping the next whoever comes in, whatever they do, however that works, has that same transparency and lets everybody know what's going on with KCBS. So anyway, now that we are full-fledged into the pork rule, and it doesn't seem to be a new pork rule anymore, it seems to be pork, right? Like I don't think anybody's even mentioned the new pork rule. How has pork changed this year for y'all? Paul, you're number one in pork, right?
Yes, as of right now.
Yeah, Bill, you're up there too.
For 1 week.
yeah.
What do y'all see in pork right now that is a big change, or what makes y'all so good at pork?
Nothing's changed for me. We cook it just like we always did. I mean, I am cooking collars, but when we start, they're all big enough, and we were trimming them down to basically collars before. We were meeting the weight, but that's basically what we were doing. So for us, nothing's really changed in pork as far as the pork rule is concerned. What makes us good in pork? Andrea makes me good in pork.
What an answer. Just because she's sitting there typing in comments doesn't mean we have to kiss up to her, but that's all good. She makes you good at all of it, really and truly. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not just pork, it's the whole thing.
She does a lot of the pork category. So, I mean, I guess I cook it, but she does a lot of the boxing and prepping and whatever. So that's hers. So I can't take credit for that one.
Well, now we know. Awesome. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, I haven't changed anything. So what I taught in your class back earlier this year, it's pretty much what we're still doing. And I know a few out there that are running it, and they're having success as well. So I'm not going to change something that's working to try something else. So I know a lot of people are doing basically just collars, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's no doubt that's where the better meat is at. So why cook anything else?
I came really close to only turning in money muscles this weekend, and I didn't do it. I turned in some bacon, and I'm glad I did. But I mean, Ellen could tell you, I mean, I was like, should I do it? She's like, no, why would you do that? I was like, well, I think a lot of people are only turning in money muscles now, and I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, just do what you always do. So we went back and we turned in a little bit of some bacon also. What's up, Jason Hardy? How you doing? So sorry to be on Tuesday night. I couldn't do it last night, so we're on tonight. But so the whole bacon thing for us or whatever, I just went ahead and did it because I don't know any better. Jordan, everybody tries to park next to him.
Well, I think it goes back to what we all learned from the very beginning, and what the great cooks before us that kind of helped us along the way. They all say the exact same thing. You just cook it the best you can, and you put in the best you got. And so if the best you got is nothing but money muscles, then don't be afraid to do it. But if you've got other products in there that you feel good, that's great, and put those in there. So our boxes vary from week to week, but it's basically the same type of meat. It's just sometimes it turns out a little better than other times.
Right.
But I mean, I was watching we went to the show. I was watching the show tonight, and I was just kind of shaking my head a little bit. So one of the, I don't remember who it was, but somebody had overcooked ribs, and they knew they overcooked them, but they still insisted on putting 8 ribs in the box. And I'm yelling at the TV, why are you putting in 8 ribs when you know you've already overcooked them? Just put in 6 of the best of the 8 that you have, pick from. And I think too many times too much YouTube and too much pictures on the Facebook, I think sometimes influences boxes instead of just what's the best meat you got for that day.
I am so glad you say that, because I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, why not turn in 6 boxes? I mean, six ribs.
Right.
Just find the 6 best ones and turn in the 6 best. Because I've given up on making sure that I do the 4-on-4, 5-on-5, whatever, because I've gotten to the point on ribs. It's like, man, just find 6 good ribs and turn those in. Like, but I'm not at y'all's level, so I'm just trying to get the 6 good ones that I can find and roll with it.
But it's confidence. I mean, you know, it's cooking enough, and that's something that I have kind of learned watching Brad and Joe and them and Donnie, and it's just like you got to have confidence in what you're doing and understanding what you want to put in the box and knowing what's good and what's not, and then having enough of that confidence to, if your box looks a little skimpy or you don't have as much as you normally do, it's still a really good product. And if the judges are doing what they're supposed to, you'll still turn out some decent scores.
Yep.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, we had a brisket here a while back that I had to dock it way down. It was little bitty narrow slices, and I did put 7 in. But that's all I had to work with, you know, because edges just crumbled terrible, but the centers were good, and I was worried about it because of appearance and whatever, and all 9's in appearance, even though it took up a third of the box, you know. But you know, I was embarrassed to turn it in, but it worked. I think we even got a call that day, so you know, you got to find your best stuff and put it in. It don't always have to be the picture, you know, you seen on Facebook. That's for sure.
I mean, it's funny you say that. This weekend in brisket, you know, I mean, the ones that I got calls in, whatever, I normally turn in eight slices every time I have to do it, right? This time I was like, you know what? I don't have 8 slices. That one slice was just, it wasn't there. So I turned in 7 slices. And I was like, you know what? And I didn't feel bad about it. I was like, man, why am I putting in more in the box than I need to? And I think it ended up helping me. But what is going on here on the comments? What are you reading about, Paul?
What am I reading about?
Oh, I thought you were reading the comments. It looked like you were.
Oh, no. My screen's froze up a little bit.
Oh, we got Brian and Jordan talking about their man crush on Bill. It's pretty awesome. Bill is like.
I think they're actually talking about Jordan running out of fuel along the interstate.
He still can't get past that. I mean, the guy gets reserve after reserve after reserve to you, and then they still give him a hard time. Yeah, like he gave me permission to keep making jokes. Judges claim they don't ding you, but comment on pictures on why don't you put more in. Yeah, you can't. I think that gets back, Kenny. I think that goes back to don't worry about don't try to do the Facebook judges show or whatever that thing is called. I think that gets us in more trouble than Jared said. I don't cook, and I said the same thing, Paul, about the ribs.
Well, but it's not uncommon. I guess is what my point is that we're all it's just life in general. We're all being hit so heavily with information, more so than ever, and it's easy to overthink things. And barbecue's one of the things where it really is the simplest you can make it. Normally is the better and more consistent you will find your scores. And I think I used to laugh at that. I heard Darren Worth say that one time. He says, we have mastered the art of mediocre barbecue. And in a way, he's kind of right when you start to look at it. Because it's not over the top. It's not, heavily seasoned, to the point where it's out of balance. It's just, perfectly even across. And it may be rich tasting, but it's not like a super over the top type of spiced up rib or anything.
It was funny in this show again, and Bill, I'm sorry you didn't watch it, but I think it was Joe talking about they only get one bite, right? And it's like there's got to be a lot of flavor on there. And I remember when we first started cooking, it was always like, man, they get one bite, so we really got to wow them with this one bite and just over the top. I don't know if y'all ever said, but I just remember, and that was like, And if anything has changed in my mind or my world of, yes, they get one bite, but that one bite better be good. You don't have to knock their socks off with that one bite of over the top flavor. It's just got to be not mediocre, but good, solid barbecue. Is that what you're trying to get at, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's not when you go to say some restaurants and things, or people who are not used to competition barbecue is definitely different than a restaurant style. Is that it's okay to hit it pretty heavy with sauce or hit it pretty heavy with seasonings and things to get that that big pop out of it. But in competition, it's just all, to me, it's 6 different people, 6 different palates. And it's trying to make something very balanced. You still have to taste good. It still has to have good flavor. But at the same time, if you're just a hair salty, well, they're going to pick up on that. And that 9 just went to an 8. And that's a big deal, in the taste factoring. So that's why I say, when I say mediocre, that's what I'm getting at, is that you're not going to just, the best barbecuers I've seen, their barbecue is very good tasting, but it's very balanced,
Right.
Solid barbecue. So coming January, have y'all decided which meat y'all are gonna be teaching?
I'm doing dessert. I've got some. We've got some 180s in dessert, Brian. So
Oh man,
Teach desserts. We've got a lot of 180s in desserts. So.
Oh no, I already claimed dessert.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to see your brisket process. So.
Y'all don't understand. So I made that comment that Paul was going to do it, and he said, "What?" And then I saw Lynn, and she's like, "Well, you ain't doing it. I'm tired of being beat." So. We do enjoy it. It is fun. I see why people do classes. It is really fun to me to kind of share what I know. You may or may not agree with it, but hopefully you'll learn something from the class, whether it be a flavor profile or just the way I cook or the way I look at things and how I think about competition barbecue, the mindset of it. But we enjoy it. I mean, that's how I think most of us, we started with classes from somebody. We still take classes ourselves to continue learning. So, I mean, you always want to be the student, right? And sometimes the teacher. So it's good to share what we can. And Bill, this is going to be your first time teaching, correct?
Teaching a class. Yeah. I mean, I've done a one-on-one. That's what I was about to back up what Paul said. I did do a one-on-one this year with a guy that I was very hesitant to do, but we went ahead and done it. But it was a very good experience. And here the other day, I can't remember what contest it was, but he ended up 3rd or 4th overall. And that was pretty exciting for me. Like, I was more happy for him than I was for us, and I think we got a grand that weekend, and I was more excited about him getting 3rd than I was getting grand, and I just not the feeling I expected to have, so that was pretty cool.
I didn't even teach anything, and I'm hearing people that are doing well from the class, and I'm like, man, this is really awesome. And I did nothing other than get it together, and I'm like, man, these people are really like getting better because of the class that y'all all did, and I was a part of it just because I organized. I didn't do anything else. And there is a lot to it that just makes you feel like, man, this is, and I can only imagine how y'all feel because y'all are the ones that are actually teaching and using the knowledge and everything. But yeah, y'all are the one giving the knowledge away. But I mean, just from our side of things, putting it all together is a lot of fun. Bill Purvis says he's in for dessert, Paul. So we've already got one guy signing.
Oh, he's going to take the class for dessert. Absolutely. Bill's my man.
He might even show us how to take pictures.
Drum cleaning 101. We'll do that too. Love you, Bill.
Bill and I have separate issues with our drums, for sure. Jason Cole wants to know, is that a new hat, Paul?
It is a new hat, but I do have the original Good Luck Charm hat in the trailer. So if you don't know the story on that, we were in Obion County here in Tennessee. It was a double, and Jason Cole with Hot Coals won the first day, and I was in such awe of his greatness that I had a similar Royal Oak hat on, so I got him to sign it for me, autograph my hat, and I wore that hat the next day, and I won the next day. And actually, I think we've been in the top two, I think 5 or 6 times. I mean, 5 times out of 6 contests, maybe, or something like that, since I've had that hat. So it smells really bad right now. It is pretty hot and sweaty down here, and I can't wash it because it'll wash the ink off. So he's constantly making fun of it. But that's the story behind the hat.
Man, I'll tell you what.
You got to do what you got to do.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's funky. I'm gonna tell you now, it's funky. But I wear it.
So weird. Bill, what is something that you and that y'all have at Triple H? Do y'all have any kind of stories like that?
Not really. I'm not superstitious at all. We gotta have our prayer time, that we do every morning. That's important to us and our success, I think. But that's it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's amazing how calming that is. If you've never participated in any of that, I would encourage you to do so. It just kind of brings you back in and brings reality back to you a little bit. And I think you just cook more lighthearted and I enjoy it.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's always a good idea to have Jesus in your heart, in your life. Chris Schaefer said that he will sign a heavy smoke hat for you if it will get you out of the top 3.
Oh, just give it time, Chris. Just give it time.
Oh, man. Yeah, Lee, I tell you what, Schaefer's on fire. Y'all are on fire. It's going to be a lot of fun. You got Smoke Me Silly in the mix, Getting Basics in the mix. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a good fall. I'll
tell you, I've never cussed a guy that I actually like as much as I do Chris. So it seems like every time I'll hit one, I'll look up and he'll hit that same day. And I can't get past this guy. What is the deal?
Man, I'll tell you what.
It's like he knows I had a good cook and he ups his game somehow or another. It's just, he's got this feeling or something. I don't know. I don't get it.
Tell you what. So I talked to y'all and I gave both of y'all an opportunity to come up with something that you wanted to talk about tonight. And I'm going to give you that we're up to that segment of the show. Bill, what is something that you wanted to talk to Paul about, or what do you think is important in the barbecue world that we need to discuss?
Oh, that was.
I think I missed that one.
I was going to say, I don't remember this.
I don't, Brian, I think you're just making stuff up. I really do. I mean, you're saying that I've signed up for classes to teach classes I know nothing about, and now you're going on about I'm supposed to be interviewing somebody that I have no clue what I'm supposed to be doing. Nobody's going to want to come on your show if you keep doing this.
Right. We keep getting thrown under the bus.
Too funny. No, I did talk about that. Y'all were like, yeah, whatever. I was like, no, for real.
And we were still on the phone when you said that.
I don't know about that part.
You weren't talking to yourself going down the road or something. You were actually on the phone.
Maybe they'll talk. Maybe they'll bring up something. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I was just after the fact, after I hung up, I was like, yeah, maybe they'll bring up something good to talk about. So, Bill, what is something that you want to that you've got to ask, or something that you think is going on that you want to talk about barbecue?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I was kind of thinking about things before I come on. I didn't know what you'd want to talk about, so I was looking at barbecue data, different places that people are sitting and whatever. And this points race is a long way from over.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I was thinking about, because we got some teams that are in the top 20 maybe that's only got 9 or 10 cooks, and they got several wins already that have some lower ones to drop, and that's you could see some guys coming up in there that you may not be thinking about right now. You know,
who is somebody that you got your eye on?
well, I mean, I'm kind of looking at Travis Duffy as one of them. You know, I think he's only got 9 cooks and he's got 3 wins already. You know, so I mean, and he's somewhere in the top 20. So you know, he turns out a couple GCs real quick, and all of a sudden he's right in the mix. You know, where like Paul and I have cooked 20 something a piece. You know, and to get 3 or 4 GCs. So, yeah, Travis Clark too. I mean, he's right there. I think Drew Davis Razor Rack could come up and be in the mix. You know, if he starts cooking a lot, which I think he's planning to this fall. So, it could get real interesting before it's over.
Yeah. I always think that I am way behind. I always cook like I need to win every single contest because that's pretty much how you have to think about it.
Right. TV Joe is Chris Schaefer says Joe is he going to be somebody y'all are watching?
I mean, you can't ever count him out. That's for sure. The last time I talked to him, he was getting a little bit burnt out and ready to take a step back, but that doesn't mean he won't fire up and take off. You know.
Yeah, he's just not getting warmed up, right? I mean, I don't know how many he's cooked, but normally he hasn't cooked that many even by now. Well, it's funny though. That's almost all of us. So I think any of us, if you're, all it takes is a win or two, and you're going to jump. And then I don't know. I mean, at least my mindset is okay. Well, I don't really have an option. I mean, you don't get this close, and we're halfway through, and so you don't really. To me, you don't have the option to stop. You've got to go as much as you can go, as hard as you can go, because you don't know next year. Those 9s may be 8s, and you may not be where you're at today.
Yeah,
it's true. Bill Purvis said a step back could be a week or 2. You know, it is, and I think if you hit a grand or something like that, it's amazing what happens.
Well, I mean, when you look at Joe, I mean, what was it last year? He hit that double grand up in was it Excelsior Springs or somewhere up there, and I mean, and that changed the whole points race. I mean, then those 2 boys were neck and neck for the rest of the year.
How many, and Paul, I'm gonna let you ask the next set of questions, but I'm gonna go and jump in here so give you a little bit more time to think about it. What do you have to drop, Bill? What are your drops? And then I'll ask you, Paul, what does it take for you to move up in points?
I've got a 5th and a couple 4ths yet to drop.
Okay.
So,
and then Paul, you got to get.
I've got 1/3 left.
Oh, you do have 1/3 left.
1/3 left. Yeah.
And how many? And you said both of y'all have won 3 this year.
I think I've got 3 grands and 6 reserves. I think.
I've got 4 and one reserve.
Okay, you've won 4, Bill. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill Purvis says Casper. I don't know what Casper is. Maybe that was where Joe got his double.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I think I know it wasn't Excelsior. I think it was Casper.
Okay, I couldn't remember where. I just remember it. To me, it just seemed like it got real interesting real quick, and it stayed that way for the entire rest of the year. And you could easily see that again. Just let it play out another month, and it could be a total shakeup and a horse race there at the end.
It's crazy.
Well,
it has been so far.
Talking about what you got left to drop, I mean, that's why I'm saying some of these guys that, have a 10th to drop or 20th to drop, they can pick up 200 points with 1 win where,
that's right.
For Paul and I, we can only pick up 50 here or 50 there, and it's hard to gain much at a time,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's crazy.
No, really, I mean, I think we're all cooking for 1s. I mean, there is no. Yeah, I mean, that may sound bad, but in the end, for us, we're pretty much maxing out everything. So if it's not a 1, and won't be long, another month or two, 2s are not going to help you much either. And
right.
it's in the end. You look at the guys who won in the past; they won off of grands, not off of reserves. So you think every time like this past weekend, I was 7/10 of a point. You cook a 707.3 and you still lose to a 708, but you know what? That's 25 points, and that's a lot of points when you start adding it up time and time and time again.
Yep.
What about Southern Dutch? Is Southern Dutch that team out of England or somewhere like that? I think that.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Paul, are you ready for your question? Are you ready for yours yet?
I'm other than me just asking Bill if I can come over when next time we're side by side and borrow his recliner in his camper there next to the fireplace. Sure. I can't think of much really to ask. I mean,
all right. So going back to the points, do y'all look at the categories, or y'all just strictly looking at overall?
It's your goal. I've said that before. Every team has different goals. So if you're not able to cook as much as some teams, maybe it's to chase 3. You're trying your best to see how high you can finish in chase 3. If you are able to cook a little bit, then maybe it is a category. But for me and our team, team of the year is our goal, and that's why we start early. Because you got to capture every little contest you can early to try to get a little bit of head start and try to tweak anything you need to as you start to head into the stretch. But now the individual categories come naturally, but it's the team of the year that we're focused on.
I think your goals change. Like you said, it's your goals, but I think your goals change throughout the year. I mean, I start out the year just trying to shoot for top 10. Well, now sitting where we're at, I'm got my sights set a little higher. And if the overall starts to fade, maybe you're high in a category, you start shooting for that. Just kind of see how the season plays out, and where you're at kind of determines what you're maybe chasing at the time. So I'm more focused on anyway.
That's great. So sorry, Southern Dutch. They're from the Netherlands. Thank you, Paul, for letting me know.
You're welcome.
Other Paul. Well, anyway, all right. Well, guys, I've had a lot of fun getting back in. For a long time, I was into baseball, and I've been neck deep into baseball, and I'm just like, haven't really been able to do as much barbecue as I wanted to. I got to go out and cook this weekend and see everybody. And I tell you what, man, it's a blast. It makes you remember why we do what we do and how much fun it is. I was able to spend time with the family and see, I got to hang out with Paul and Lynn and all of our other friends and all of our other sponsored teams that we get to see. And I'm just going to say it now, man, the Atlanta Barbecue Store teams absolutely smoked it this weekend. Top 4 at Greenwood, and then Bill winning up there and up north somewhere, wherever he was, Indiana, Illinois. It's awesome. And then Hold Your Horses had some good cooks, and it just a lot of our teams have been doing really well. It was funny. I was sitting there cooking, and some random person came up. So did Heavy Smoke teams, but not Heavy Smoke. Man, so close to having him be on our team, and he just decided to go somewhere else. But that guy's such a good guy. Maybe one of these days, I can pull that off. And get Chris Schaefer back on where he wants to be and needs to be. But it's good to see teams doing well and all of us. But anyway, back to my story. Greenwood. I was at Greenwood, and somebody came up there like, "Who is this Atlanta barbecue store?" I was like, "Oh, it's only the best barbecue store in the country." I was like, "Why do you say it like that?" They're like, "Man, they're everywhere out here." I was like, "Well, we have a lot of customers and a lot of people that we do well." I said, "But we are actually the Atlanta barbecue store." And they looked around. They're like, "Oh, okay."
Hey, don't forget, Jason Singletary. I mean, he killed it. I think he came in third right there. So he
has been.
he had a great cook too.
He's been doing really well, and he's going to be the other one. He's coming in and he's cooking in the class too. He's another one that doesn't cook, doesn't do classes often,
No,
ever. So he's going to be.
Well, he does the South Carolina barbecue trail as well, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, and actually,
are you going to try to do the GBA?
So I talked to Chuck East, and he said that he would come in and do loin for us also.
I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, I won't be doing anything during that time period because that's new for me to see that and kind of see that process and that thinking in that organization because I don't have much experience in it. So,
I don't either.
Hey, you're getting KCBS, you're getting South Carolina there, and you're getting GBA in there too. So,
I mean, I'm telling you what, and then I'm telling you, there's a lot of good dessert cooks there too that are going to be able to teach you desserts and cheesecake. So Ellen wants to learn cheesecake from somebody.
I got you covered. Tell her I got it covered. I got
that. Banana pudding, baby.
Banana pudding. Oh man, breakfast sausage balls. So that's what Jason Singletary won. What was that? Sausage, anything bud, something like that. This weekend at Greenwood, he won. I guess it was sausage, and he just put maple syrup and some good barbecue sauce on there, and he won. It's like, but I tell you,
he's doing breakfast for the class on Saturday.
So it sounds like he's cooking breakfast sausage balls for everybody too, man. I mean, tell you what,
got it covered.
I mean, this is coming together great, Bill. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anything
We're here to help you, Brian. We're here to help you.
Whatever you need.
That's
it
right.
is exciting because we're on pace to raise a good bit of money for Feed America here, and that's what we're doing the barbecue contest for. And it's going to be, a meeting with the PR person with them. A lot of stuff's going back. So everything on the barbecue class that we are going to be offering, you will be getting the best class that you could possibly get. And all of that money will go to the contest to be able to raise more money. So it's going to be everything we're doing is for a good cause. And we do appreciate what's going on. The Jarvis Foundation is up in effect. It's a 501(c) now. We're doing really good and excited about where the future is for barbecue, for the Atlanta Barbecue Store and growing the sport of, or being able to give back to what's been so good to us. But anyway, that's just another plug. If you do want to sign up, Chris Schaefer, please go ahead and sign up. All you other guys, it's full.
It's full. And don't be throwing your name around trying to get in either.
Yeah, y'all can call me all the time, and I have nothing to do with it. Ellen is the one that has everything to do with everything. So
revoked.
Oh, I do not have dates for the class.
Internet's broke. We can't send you no link. The internet's broke. Al Gore shut it down.
Al Gore shut down the internet. It's no longer working. ABS teams won anything goes and dessert. We really did. I think Kenny O'Shields won the perfect Greenwood. So Ellen Paul's going to teach dessert at our class. So he's going to be able to teach you that good cheesecake that you've been wanting to learn. She said, "Oh, good." But anyway, guys, y'all are awesome. Does Lynn or Andrea want to come on and say hello to anybody?
Yeah, sure does. She's right here.
She sure does.
She sure does. Yeah.
She knows. I don't know if Andrea put in or not. I tried to get her to do that earlier, but
she's trying to put her robe on. She's trying to get that robe on.
She's trying to get that.
If I had that thing, I'd be walking around everywhere with that thing on. I'd show up to every contest in my underwear in a robe.
Well, I'm glad you don't.
Hence the reason why I'll never win it.
You got to cook it to win it.
You got to go to win it.
Oh, very true.
Are we going to see you there this year?
I don't know.
Please no, please me too. Hey, there's you. Look at there. There's the.
Hey, see, hey, look at there. Oh, you missed. Oh, you missed. That's right there. That's it. That's it.
Oh man, I tell you what, barbecue is so much fun. Anyway, Paul, do you have anything you want to say before we let all these people go?
Just thank you for doing these. We have a great time, and it's kind of the time we can get together when we're not together at the contest, and when we don't get to see people sometimes. And thanks to teammates like Bill, and for just being friends. For no matter what, I could quit barbecue right now, and I guarantee I can call Bill up in 5 years, and he would still talk to me, and he'd do anything for me. So that's you can't beat it.
I tell you what, I could agree more. Bill, is there anything you want to end with?
I don't think I can top what Paul just said. No, thanks for having us on.
Paul's always got these words of wisdom. More of that. And to answer the question earlier, Bill blocked my number. It's all right, Chris. Man, Chris won't even take my phone calls, Bill. I've tried to call him.
This weekend.
So one of these days, Chris will answer my phone call. You never know. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful night. I'm going to be in Las Vegas next Monday, so we will see how this plays out. It could be fun. Could be, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. So if nothing happens, it's because we're in Las Vegas. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see you soon on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Thank y'all.
All right.